Okay, we should be ready to roll, Jay.
Okay. So if everyone can see my my browser screen, you should see the admin panel. And so I guess we'll start with just creating a page. We start from pages and files.
Can someone tell me how to even get to the admin panel? This is Chelsea. I'm not even there yet.
Okay. Well, this is on a different server, but you would go to the Operation Family Caregiver website.
Okay.
And he doesn't have a login yet.
Okay. Should we create a login then?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, I'll switch over and go to the admin panel is, and I'll type it in so everyone can see. And you're going to want to go to HTTPS for a secure connection. And we're going to www.operationfamilycaregiver.org/JKI tools with a capital T. All right. And when we click that, it prompts you to log in. I'm going to go ahead and log in using my login and password, and we'll set up an account for Chelsea. So I'm going to go to Users and Permission. I'll expand that screen so we can see it a little better. I'm going to click this button with the pencil, or I'm sorry, with the plus sign to add a user. And Chelsea, help me spell your name.
Chelseea.
Okay. And your last name?
Collins. Collins.
Okay. Let's see, I put that in the wrong field. Add it here. And your email address?
Chelsea.collins@gsw.edu.
Okay, and it generated a password here for you. I can email that to you afterwards. It makes it easier.
Is there a way I can log in now, though, so I can kind of follow along with y'all?
He's following along as we go, like he's in there. That's what he's showing is a desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't be able to work on the same pages at the same time. So logging in might create a problem if you're for instance editing a page that I'm demonstrating.
Okay, that's fine. Move along.
Okay, and I'll email that password to you once we're done.
You can email it.
Okay. So that's created. I'll just open that back up and make sure that it's there and it saved everything, and it looks like it did. All right, I'm going to go ahead and log out of the admin panel. That was the live site, and so this demonstration is being done on a different server so we don't affect anything on the live site. Okay, and so once you're logged in and you need to create a new page, you click on Pages and Files. And then we navigate to where we want to create the page. So we start at the home page, that's the top of the site. You get some options when you click on a page over here on the left to change the navigation tree. And so each of these trees corresponds to a different navigation on the front end of the site. So if we look at the front end, we have our main navigation is here. They served, you served, we serve, and find support. The global navigation, where we have About Us, Infographic, Join Us, is this navigation at the top. And the footer navigation are the links at the bottom. So and each page has a default navigation setting. So when you click it, it defaults to, for instance, main navigation here. If we were to go through to global navigation, to the caregiver login, it's all in global. It's hidden now, so we don't see a link to that on the front end. And I'll show you how to create pages that aren't linked to in the navigation in just a moment. But let's go back to creating a new page. We're going to the home page, to the main navigation, and we're going to create a page under You Serve. So this site only displays one level of links on the front. So if you, for instance, go to They Serve, there's no sub-navigation here. So technically, all of the pages you create under They Serve, You Serve, etc., aren't going to show up in the navigation. They're hidden by default. So you have to link to them manually in the content. Let's go ahead and create a page. And we click this button here to add a page. And it gives us some page types to choose from here. We're just going to create a regular web page, and most of the pages you create are going to be regular web pages. So we'll choose that. It inserts a new document. Click Save to save that. And then you select it. And really, before you start editing the copy, you'll want to set up the page properties. And that's done here through this sprocket icon. You can also access that sprocket icon in the content editor. We'll see that in a moment if you need to change the settings while you're editing the page. You'll want to make the page live. This doesn't happen until you republish the site, and we'll get to publishing in a moment. But you'll always want to make sure that the page is live. You can hide it in navigation, and like I said, for the sub-pages, they're not going to show up anyway, but still it's probably a good practice to just always hide it, unless you want it to show up. If it was in this, I'm going to switch back over to Pages and Files. If it was in this tier, if you wanted to add a link after We Serve or Find Support, then you would not want to check the Hide in Navigation button here. You'd want it to show up, but in most cases you're going to want to hide them. And we'll give this page a name. And that's the document name, and that's what shows up in the tabs or at the top of the browser. And below that is the link name. If it was going to show up in the navigation, this is the name you would want the link to show. So if we look at the front end again, if you wanted it to be called They Served, if you wanted that to show up here, that's what you would type there in the link name. So it can be different or it can be the same than the page name. Sometimes you'll want the link name to be shorter if the page name is really long. So you have that option. And this automatically generates a path name for you, and it generates a unique path name, but it's not very helpful and it's not very pretty. So what that corresponds to is what shows up here in the address. So if this were the path name, it's not going to be there yet because we haven't published. If that were the path name that you wanted it to have, you would put it here. And that's what you need to get going. There's these fields here for metadata, which help with searching and the search engines. Laura, I know you're familiar with this. Should we cover this? Do we need to
yeah, go ahead, because Chelsea's going to be doing a lot of this stuff in the CMS. So I know you're going to explain things better than I can.
All right. So you would want a short description. Sorry, I'm not typing very well. A short description of the page. This could be up to 1,024 characters. It should echo the content that's on the page, but it shouldn't be too wordy because you do have that constraint of 1,024 characters, including the spaces and punctuation. The keywords are words that you want people to be able to search the page by, either on your site or from Google or Yahoo or any of the search engines. And you separate keywords by comma. And you can also have key phrases which are multiple words that you then separate by a comma. And then there's some other options down here that you'll probably never need to use. This is to make the page require a secure connection. That's the HTTPS type of connection. All the pages that require that have already been done for you. I don't think in most cases you're going to need that. It's for forms primarily and logins. And then the page access requirements are just, you're probably never going to need that. So you would just leave these alone. We now have everything set up. We have the page ready to go live when we're ready to publish. You can leave this off if you're working on a page that's not going to be live for a while, and that'll keep it from being accidentally published. We've hidden it in the navigation. We've given it a page name, which is this name that appears in the tab, a link name, which appears on the front end, a path name, and that's how the browser finds it, the meta description, and the keyword. So we're going to save it. And now we're ready to edit the page. So we click Open, and it opens our content editor. And since the templates are really what's very different about this site, I'm going to start with that. And then we'll look at the formatting buttons and inserting images. So let me show some examples on the front end. We have let's see. So we have several different layout options. You can do a headline with a single big column. You can do a 2 or 3 column layout, or you can do a 2-column layout that has one wide column and one narrow column, either on the left or right. We have these background colors. You can do the full quotes, and there's several other options. But I just wanted you to see how that translates to the front end before we start. So before you begin entering your content, you'll want to use this button on the far right for template. And most every time you'll start with the single column layout with a page heading. Even if you're going to use some of these other things, this will always be at the top of the page. So you would want to give it a page name, headline, and you would start with some body copy. And then let's say you want to insert a pull quote. Some of these you insert inside of another column layout. And these are at the bottom, and they say so here. Must be used within a column layout, must be used within a column layout, and so on. So if we wanted to put a quotation here, that puts it inside the single column. And you could just select it and start typing, and it gives you all these styles. They're already in there, so you don't have to style them. Okay, and then it's a good practice to hit save often. How this system works, since it's on the web, when you save it, it sends it back to the server. So when it's just in your browser, when you've made edits in your browser, it's not saved. And if you close the tab or your computer crashes, you're going to lose everything you've done since the last time you saved. So I would recommend saving often. All right. So some other possibilities with the columns and the layout are the single column layout without the heading, and then single columns with different background colors. And you can insert those items at the bottom. To give you more options. And to insert a new one, maybe I didn't mention this. You just get the cursor down here in the lower left of the editor. If it's indented, then you know you're inside a column. If it's out here next to the edge of the editor, you're outside the column. And if it ever gets confusing, you have this option here, the button right next to the template button, to show you. And it messes up the way it looks a little bit, but you can see these div tags are your columns. We can do a 2-column layout with a wide left column. You could do a quotation over here. That wrapped around, I think there would need to be longer body copy here to get that to wrap. And also you'll notice this red dashed line with a little carriage return icon here. You can use that to insert new divs in between the divs. New columns. So we've inserted that one. Let's see, it went away. We can insert a new template in between there. And if you get space in between them, you can just go in and delete that to tighten it up. Some of the blocks, the color blocks they have some padding built in around them that you can't change, so we can't make those any closer than that. But you won't have to worry about that. It'll keep them properly spaced for you, and the layout and the spacing comes from our original design comp, so that's all hard-coded in for you. You have some options once you have copy in to style the text. So we have several headings, heading 1, and then these display in the size and typeface that they're going to render. So it makes them a little hard to read in this menu, but if you hover over it, you see that it tells you the name. And let's talk about headings for a second. You'd have one heading 1 on a page. Never have more than one. This also is a way that search engines rank your page in the search results. So having more than one heading 1 is confusing to them. Heading 1 should be the main headline for the page. Anything under that should be a heading 2. And any headings under a heading 2 should be a heading 3. And so it's working like an outline, even though these are all at the same level of indentation. You know, it's logically laid out so that a heading 1 is the top level, the name of the document. Heading 2 are the subsections under that document. Heading 3 is under a heading 2. So you can put another heading 2 here, but any headlines underneath that should be heading 3.
Can you insert a heading 3 without having a heading 2?
You can, but it looks illogical to the search engine.
Okay.
Because you've jumped from heading 1 to heading 3, there's no heading 2 there. And little things like that hurt your search engine rankings.
Okay.
So just like if you were doing an indented list, just to illustrate how those headings are working, heading 1, heading 2, this is logically how it's laid out, even though they're all on the same level of indentation. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. All right, so I'll delete that. Okay, and we haven't saved in a while, so I'll do that. And beyond the headers, we have a styles menu here with several different options for other types of headings with different colors, body copy with different colors, and heading 3 with different colors. So I think, are the templates making sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. Are you able to change the font sizes? Like, are there a default font size?
The font sizes are all hard-coded, and we took those from the original design.
Oh, okay. So it's just a default font?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're, in our next round of updates, we're going to look at changing those sizes. But once that's done, they'll again be hard-coded, so you'll never have to worry about sizing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we've looked at the templates button and the show blocks button. There's this button here that you won't often need that shows you the HTML source code that it's generated. If you had to ever alter the HTML, you would do it this way. If you had to paste in some HTML, there's another option, which I'll get to in a moment, that allows you to embed HTML code. And we use that for things like YouTube videos or Flickr slideshows, for example. We've covered format and styles. This is also something you will rarely need, but if you are dissatisfied with where a page is breaking when you print it out, you can insert this page break, and it's invisible on the web screen in the browser, but it will force, when it prints a new page, it'll force the page to break there. This button next to it gives you some special characters that are commonly used. There's the copyright symbol, a trademark symbol, a registered trademark symbol. Things that there's special keys, special key sequences on your keyboard, and they're different depending on whether you're using a Mac or a Windows machine. So if it's difficult to remember those, you always have this as an option. And I recommend using it too because it inserts them and encodes them properly. Sometimes special character encoding is a problem, and it'll break the page. So if you need to do trademark, registered symbol, copyright, any of these special accent marks, I would suggest entering it through here. These two buttons you'll never have to worry about. I would turn them off if I could, but I can't. But it is text direction. Some languages read right to left, for instance. Since you're doing everything in English or Western languages, it's not going to be an issue. And next to those, we have text alignment buttons. So you can align the text center over to the right and to the left. This is the justify option. We don't have enough text here to show it, but basically it keeps it aligned to the left and the right, like an old-style newspaper column. Okay. We also have options for creating lists. I just showed that a second ago when I was explaining headlines. But you have the option to do a bulleted list or a numbered list. Bulleted list, if you select the text and click it, it starts the list. You have these buttons here to manage indentation. So that moves it over one level, and that moves it back. So when you're ready to start a new level there, you use that outdent button to decrease the level of indentation. And just to demonstrate the numbered list, it works very much the same. You can also indent it, and it starts a new level. And you can decrease the level of indentation with that as well. This next button here erases the formatting. You just select the text and click it, and it would remove it. Our styles are hard-coded, so it took our margins off, but it didn't take the text styling off. But if we had a bunch of different types of styling here, we could select it and remove it that way. And I just undid all that with Command-Z, which is undo. It's the same for pretty much all applications on your computer. On a Mac, it's Command-Z, and on a Windows machine, it's Control-Z. And we have some just standard text styling options here. You can do supertext, you can do subtext, strike through, underline, italic, and bold. The select all button, you can also do that by hitting Command-A or Control-A, which is how applications work on your computer. Word works that way. There's a find and replace options here. Most browsers have this built in now. If you hit Command or Control F, you can search that way, but there's options here to do it. I don't use these too much. You can search and replace text. Very similar to Word. There's undo and redo buttons here. Those work just like hitting Command or Control-Z. Pasting. If you paste from a Word document or text from another web page, it's going to try to bring all that formatting in with it. I have this set up now to try to automatically strip it out when you paste it. Sometimes that fails. The safest way to paste in text from another source is to go through this window, and this just strips everything out and just gives you plain text. So you can paste your text in, hit OK, it inserts it at the cursor, and then you can start formatting it. But if you bring formatting in from somewhere else, you run the risk of either having it display very badly or break the page altogether. And so we'll save that. There's buttons here for cut and paste. I do this with the keyboard so much I don't even think about these buttons. But if you select some text, you can cut it, put it in a new place, and paste it. The paste button's not working. But like I said, you can use the standard Command or Control-V, paste text. So these buttons I don't think are very useful. All right, so now we're back to the sprocket button we saw on the page manager. This brings up the same page properties window, so we can see everything we set in there before. If you need to make changes to the page properties while you're editing, that's the way to do it. So you don't have to go back to the page manager. So once you've got your page laid out the way you want, everything looks good, you have a preview button. The preview button does automatically save whatever's in there so it can display it. Sometimes the preview window opens before the save is completed. If you preview it and you see that it doesn't have your most recent changes, you can hit this refresh button and it'll just grab the latest copy from the server. So once you've previewed it and you made sure everything looks the way you want, you can publish it. If it doesn't look the way you want, you just close this window, go back, make your changes, hit preview again, refresh it if you need to. But once it's all set, you click the Approve and Publish button. And you'll notice it said page marked for publication. That means the next time you publish, it'll go live, assuming that you have the pages live setting here. So, but it doesn't go live yet until you publish all approved pages. So this will let you make a lot of changes to the site. You can change every single page, still have it looking like the last approved version of the site on the front end while you're making major updates. So it allows you to hold those changes back until you're ready for them to go live. And once you're ready, you click that button and it starts publishing. It'll tell you up here when they're all done. And you'll remember before when we looked at this page before we created it, we got an error page because it wasn't there. It should be live now, so let's see what happened. Okay, should be under userve. I think we went under they serve. Okay, there's our new page. All right, I'm going to jump back and talk about inserting links and images and YouTube videos. So the most common thing you'll do probably is insert a link. You choose the text you want to make a link, and you push this chain link or click on this chain link icon here with the plus sign to insert. This window pops up. If you are linking to another site, you just type it in here, or most likely you'll navigate to it in another window and copy and paste it into the URL. Give the page a title. When you're linking off to another site like this, you're going to want to do open in new window. If you're linking to your site, you don't want that to open in a new window. So you do open in same window for all the links. Most of the links you'll insert will probably be to pages and documents on your site. So since we're going to another site, we'll hit open in new window. Once it's ready, click the link icon. It's made it a link now. And save that. That's the
all
only
links going to be that color?
Yes. There might be some context to links, and I'm not remembering right off what they all are, but there may be different colors and different styles based on what type of column they're in or what type of column option has been set. But I think this is the standard. Okay. So once that looks good, if that's the only change you're making and you're ready for it to go live, you can preview it. Double check it, make sure it's there. Approve it for publication. And publish everything again. reload the page, and we see the link is there. We click it, and it opens a new tab to go to Google. So we set it to open in new window. I said that it was important to do that. I didn't say why. If you link off to another site, if someone closes the tab, it would close your site. But if you set it to open in a new tab, it leaves your site open in the background, so it's always there. And then the user doesn't have to click through the back button however many times they need to in their history to get back to your site. So it's highly recommended to always use that open in the new tab if you're linking outside of the operation page of your website. And there's one other instance where you would use it. And I'll just pull the page we're testing back up. It's when you are linking to a document on your site, like a PDF or a Word document. And the way you would do that is to use the browser, which opens up the pages and files view that you saw before. And instead of going to pages, you go to files, and this shows you everything that's available on the site. And you can also upload new files from here. Let's choose a PDF document. So once we've made our selection, we hit OK. And I'll go back and show how to upload files in a minute, but we'll just want to focus on creating links right now. We'll set this to open in a new window. Again, this is the only time you're going to want to open a new window if you're linking to pages on your own site. And we save that. Preview it. You see that, yes, our change is saved and there, and it's ready to go. We just need to mark it for publication and publish it again. And so I'm doing this process a lot, but typically you'll be making edits in several places, maybe just on one page. But if you're making multiple edits, you won't want to publish every time you make just a few edits. You want to make them all and then approve those pages and publish them. All right, so we refresh the page. The publishing was complete, and we see our new link there. And so it opens up the PDF in the browser. So this is another case where someone just might automatically click close, and quite often people do when they're done, and then they would lose your site. But since we've opened it in a new window, it's still there in the background. All right, now I'm going to show how to just link to pages on your own site. So we would select the text we want to make a link. Click the link icon we had before. Click the Browse button we used before, and instead of going to Files, we'll go to Pages. And so we want to link to, well, let's say this caregiver survey. This is an example of a page that's hidden in the navigation. So we see it here, but we don't see it up here with the sibling pages on that level. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
So pages that are hidden, you have to manually create links to them like this. Now this automatically populates it with the URL. It takes the page title, so you don't have to type that again. You can change it to something else if you want to. But in almost every case, you're going to want to open this in the same window. And the reason is you don't want to open, you don't want the user to have to open 10 new tabs just to look at the content on your site. They want they want to stay in the same window and navigate through your site. So once that's ready, you insert the hyperlink, save it again, preview it again, and we see it's there. Everything looks good. We click Mark for Publication, and we publish again. And that took us to our caregiver survey page, and it did not load it in a new tab. All right, now let's look at uploading files. So we showed how to link to a file. Save that just for good measure, and then highlight some text to become the link. Go back to our Pages and File browser, click on Files, click on Documents, and we click the Upload button. We click Browse Files. Right, and you can, I just clicked one, but you can actually add several files just by holding down the Shift key and clicking on them. And it'll add them all at once. So once you've got every file represented here that you want to upload, you can click Start Upload.
Why would you upload multiple files to one link?
Well, we're actually just uploading the file to the server, so we haven't gotten to the link part yet.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to show that you could, if you had a large batch of files you wanted to upload, you could upload them all at once.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little bit outside of exactly what we're talking about. But now we see those are all there, and we choose the one we want to link to. Hit OK. It automatically populates the path to the file. It gives you a placeholder title here that's the name of the file. You'll want to give it a more meaningful name than the file name. And since that is a file that opens in a lot of browsers, we'll want to open it in a new window. Insert the link, save it, preview it. Scroll down, make sure it's there. Looks like we think it's going to look. Mark for publication. Publish all. Reload our page. Oh, I have to go back because I took the link off of that page. And add. All right, so it opens it up. We close the tab and our site's still there. And I think I have covered just about everything to do with the content system, publishing files. Get that open again. If you need a refresher on what any of these buttons are, we do have a help file viewer here. It is under Content Editor. So we have a number corresponding to each button. You just scroll down to see what it says.
That's nice.
We also have the adding a new page process covered here. But these are written procedurally, so they're written in a lot of cases in the order that you would actually perform the task. Pages and files, we covered that as well. So it explains putting pages in order. So we can see here we can drag the pages into a different order, and you click Save to save that ordering change, and it'll be updated the next time you publish the site, it'll update the navigation. One item I think I mentioned but I didn't go back to was inserting a YouTube video. There's this button here with the television set. This lets you embed all kinds of embeddable media, not just YouTube, but that's the most common use. But you create the embed code on the YouTube site or the Flickr site. Wherever you get that source code, you paste it in here, and you click this TV icon again, and then a placeholder will come up to show that you have embedded that. And before I take questions, I'll jump back to this, Laura, because I know it is causing some problems. So the homepage slides have a special controller here. I'll just start over again. It's here on the left-hand side navigation of the admin panel. You click on it, you open it up. It shows you all the slides that are available on the front end of the site. This tick box here shows whether or not that slide is live. If you click the image, it gives you the same image control that we had with the content editor. You can browse to a different image. Let's see. You click this image button to complete the update. It replaces the old image. You can set a link. Again, the same link controller from the content editor. You can link to a different page. You have the same controls to set whether it opens in the same window or a new window. When it's done, you click the link button. You have a title. This is not something that shows up on the front end. It does help with search engines since really images don't have any meaningful information for the search engine. Giving it a title does help. So also, I don't think I mentioned screen readers. Visually impaired web users rely on these titles to explain what the image and what the link is. Otherwise, they would have no idea. They use browser readers to read the web page and if it doesn't have the title in there, it just reads the name of the file, which sometimes is not very helpful, or in most cases is not very helpful. We have an order here. This tells it what order to play the slides in, starting at 0. Click that to edit it. We can move this to the number 1 position. Make this one 0. Let's find another one that's live. Make that 2. We'll leave that one at 3. When we've made all the edits we want to make, we hit the Save button. If we want to add a new slide, we click this button here with the photo with the plus symbol beside it. And that gives us a new empty record. Check to make it live. We can choose the image like we did before, add the link like we did before, and so on. And we click Save and we're done. And I think that is it.
How many homepage slides can you have? 4?
I think it's an unlimited number. The only constraint you might run up against when we go to the homepage is that it creates a navigation dot here for each slide, so that could get very long. So if it starts to look bad, if it wraps to another line or something like that, you would probably want to remove slides, but I don't think there's any limit. Are there any other questions?
Jay, how do we go in and edit the links for the social media buttons? Because the LinkedIn one has the wrong URL.
Those are embedded in the templates.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so I would have to, and I can just throw that in with the next round of updates if you send me the correct link.
All right. I'll send it to you as soon as this is over.
Okay.
Jay, did you go over images, like for the different templates?
I'm not sure. I can go back and show it again if I didn't. So inserting images, you put the cursor where you want the image to be. And now that I'm doing this, I don't think I did cover it before. But I'm sorry, you were saying something?
No, go ahead. You'll probably answer it.
Okay. So you put the cursor where you want the image to be. And that could be in the single column layout or the 2 or 3 column layout options. Choose the image. You can link to an image on another site. That's less common. I know some folks link to their Flickr account. But you would put the Flickr link here. The alternate text, this helps with search engines and browser readers. You can describe the image. But more than likely, you're going to be linking to an image on your site, and you would do that with the Browse button. Go to Files, go to where there are images, choose one. I entered the alt text. It automatically puts the width and height here for you. There's a big footnote here. You can change this to change the width and the height of the image. However, it doesn't actually change the file size. So if you have a very large image and you squeeze it down, it's still a giant image file that has to be downloaded. So you'll want to size your images offline in an image editor before you upload them. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and insert the image. We have some options once it's in there. Under the Styles menu, you can have the image on the left or the image on the right. And if you choose that, it tries to wrap the text around it.
So it'll automatically wrap the text?
Yeah, if you choose these options here. So once it's in, we hit Save.
Once you've uploaded the image, can you size it at all?
Well, that's what I was saying. You need this with these items here. Oh, go ahead. You can't resize it in the editor. You can do it with these boxes here manually, but I don't recommend that.
Okay.
Because of what I was saying before, that the file size will still actually be whatever the original size was. So even though you've made it small, it's going to take it a long time to download. It's going to use your bandwidth up. It's going to use your site users' bandwidth up for no reason. So it's better to size the image before you upload it. And if you needed to just upload it just to experiment with sizing, that's one way to do it. And then once you have the size you like, then you can go back and resize it and re-upload it. Okay. And if you just name it the same name when you upload it, if you upload it with the same name in the same directory, it automatically replaces the old file.
And you can't change the pictures at the top of the pages. Are those embedded?
Yeah, those are embedded in the templates. Sometimes you might want to make an image a link. You have that possibility as well. Mm-hmm. So you would just select the image and hit the link button, and then it's the same process as if it were a text link. And you can select an image and delete it. I'm going to go ahead and save that, preview it so you can see it. And it's the same process as before, mark it for publication, and then publish it. Okay, are there any other questions?
This is really good, Jay. When we were going through this, I guess a little over a year ago, I don't remember going into this much detail, but we also were in an extreme hurry to just get the site up and launched by the specific date that we had to get it up, and we were just trying to get content in there. So I know I learned a tremendous amount, and now that this is going to be archived, and we will all have a copy of it, and it will be in a Dropbox so that we won't lose it again. I think this will be something that will be helpful for us to go back if we forget how to do something. You know, for me, I've got to see it visually while somebody is talking me through it. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this for us.
Happy to do it, and I hope it does help. But if anyone has any follow-up questions, please just let me know.
Jay, this is Lisa. Thank you so much. This is extremely helpful and informative.
Oh, you're welcome.
I have one more question. I'm sorry, I'm the question girl.
Go ahead and ask it.
Go right ahead.
In the body or the text, if you just want to maybe put like a paragraph, but there's a lot more further text behind it that maybe you don't want it all on the page, could you have like a read more?
It would be possible to add something like that. That's called lazy loading.
Lazy, okay.
Where it doesn't load all the content on the page initially, and you click that button to load a little more at a time. I don't recommend those.
Okay, it's just a question.
Yeah. But we don't have that option right now, but it could be done. But
no, that's fine.
All right. Anything else?
Angel, anything?
The only thing is I was having trouble uploading pictures. Not the pictures would upload, but I wasn't able to insert into specific pages. And I noticed the only difference that has occurred is they have installed a new virus protection on our computer. Could that affect the different scripts for the website?
I wouldn't think so. If the file's successfully uploaded, they should be there, and you should be able to link to them.
But it will. When I hit the button to submit or to do a certain action, it won't do anything on certain.
So you're going to the file browser. You're going to files. You're choosing
and
video.
it uploads. For instance, yesterday I wanted to insert a new slide, and working with the slide on the slideshow on the administration panel,
right.
I was able to upload the actual slide picture, but then I wouldn't be able to move on to the process as far as publishing it.
Okay. Well, once you've uploaded it and you select it, it has to be an image. Once you select it and hit OK,
and then I would get a message on the bottom saying script error.
Okay. All right. Do you recall which browser you were using? Was it Chrome?
It was Chrome.
Okay. We might need to look at that.
Because like I said, the only difference and change as far as any programs or software that was installed on my computer was that new virus protection software that they added to the
it shouldn't interfere with it, but some virus protection does insert some JavaScript in your page,
Yeah, the virus protection is called Landesk. I don't know
Okay.
if you're familiar with that.
No, I haven't had any experience with that one.
Okay. But yeah, that's the only difference in change. But like I said, it let me upload the actual picture, and it let me put it in a slideshow file or and add pictures to the picture file or the photos files. But then from there, like I said, I wasn't able to update it onto this actual slideshow admin panel.
Okay, we might want to, look at that separately. Are you able to? Can you disable the virus protection for the browser?
No, because it was installed by the university.
Okay. The quickest way to test the possibility that that's it is to, you might have to get IT there to help you do it. Just turn it off and try again, and if it works, then we know it's the virus protection.
Okay, I can ask our IT person.
Even if they have to turn it right back on right afterwards, at least we would know that's the cause of it.
Okay. I know Laura was having a similar issue on her regular desktop. Correct,
Yeah.
Laura?
Yeah, and it just seemed like I had to go back and forth between different browsers and different machines. I've got a Dell, and I've also got an iMac, and I wouldn't even be able to tell you which one worked because it just seemed like I had to keep trying things until something did.
Okay, and you have the same virus protection installed?
Yes.
Okay, on both machines?
No, actually, I've got some parent key or something like that on the new iMac.
Okay.
I don't think that's what I have on the other one.
I would be curious to know if you were having problems on the iMac, that might rule out the virus software. If you could just test that and let me know.
Okay.
If you're able to change a slide, and not save it, just do a test, and see if it does replace the image.
And yeah, on my iMac, it was replacing the image, but then when I published it and went to look at the website, it wasn't there.
Okay. Sometimes the page will get cached by your browser.
Uh-huh.
And the way to force the browser to reload the whole page is to hold down the Shift key and click the refresh button. And that'll re-download all the images, all the JavaScript, everything, all the HTML, and give you a fresh copy of everything. So that might be something to try too if you're not seeing the image right away.
Okay, you told me that before, and I don't do it enough to remember it. But you told me that before, and it didn't work.
All right. Is there anything else?
No,
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have
You're
a happy
welcome.
4th. Bye-bye.
Have a happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.
All right.